I cheated with my wife's friend in Colombia. My wife Alondra, 43F, and I, 49M, vacationed in Colombia this past December. We took separate flights because I had to continue on to Mexico City for business. Alondra's Colombian friend Danny, the 33F, was beyond excited to meet her there, since they hadn't seen each other in years. We spent the first 4 days exploring as tourists and then met up with Danny for the final 3 days. At dinner, I couldn't help but notice Danny's captivating presence and her unique indigenous beauty that was something out of that movie Apocalypto. We went out drinking and dancing on the second night, and I spent most of the night dancing with Danny, while Alondra complained and rested her sore feet at the bar. We came back to our Airbnb, and the girls, both drunk, got playful and ended up giving me an unexpected double lap dance. This was just the start. We partied late and well into the morning on the third day. This left Alondra with just a couple of hours of sleep before her flight back to the US. Danny slept on the couch while I packed both mine and Alondra's suitcases. The next morning, Alondra made breakfast, but it didn't turn out as expected. We all jumped into an Uber and took Alondra to the airport. It was an hour-long ride back to the Airbnb, and Danny cuddled up to me the entire way. After returning to the Airbnb, I took a shower while Danny went into the kitchen. When I came out, she had prepared a delicious meal for me. I was pleasantly surprised when she said, "You deserve a better cooked meal than what I threw in the trash." While I ate, Danny showered. She proceeded to come out of the shower completely naked, grab my hand and lead me to the bedroom. We spent the rest of the day having sex all over the Airbnb. I then took a nap until it was time for my late flight. As we left the Airbnb, Danny stopped and gave me a warm kiss goodbye and told me to come back for just her next time. TLDR, my wife left me in Colombia with her hot friend. I had sex with her all over our Airbnb.
Confession 2. Divorce and pursue happiness, or stay and choose stability. I found out almost a year ago my spouse has been cheating on me for about 5 years with my best friend. Live in NJ, married for 11, and we have 5 children together, mainly why I gave it a year to see if we could work through the situation. We have gone to therapy and continued intimacy throughout. Those both were probably worse for my mental, so I opted to stop going and stopped the intimacy. At the end of the day, my spouse seems somewhat remorseful now, but I can't get over the years factor with the cheating or the lies spoken to me and the kids. The reality that I can't trust this again and I don't want to. So I want to divorce. I feel we should keep the home for stability with the kids, and she refuses to move out with her friends offering her a place. Our relationship is not healthy for the kids and splitting is very likely better for them. But I am the sole provider and cannot afford to pay for 2 homes. If I move out to get my own place for me and the kids, I'll likely be ordered to continue paying the mortgage and upkeep on the marital home. Lawyer has explained to me because I continued to live together for so long we have reconciled and it'll be seen as I forgave her, so I can't even use the infidelity in court. However, we have to live separately to initiate divorce proceedings, so I'm stuck to the point where I am considering being homeless, paying for her home and probably child support and possibly alimony on top of it just to pursue this divorce, but at what cost for the kids and my financial and physical health? Sucky situation. Any thoughts? Confession 3. My dad cheated on my mom. My dad decided to leave my mom when my baby was 3 weeks old. My first baby and my parents' first grandbaby. He completely blindsided everyone including my mom. They decided to work on their marriage, but my mom found out he was cheating the whole time with a woman who knew he was married and is 20 years younger than him. I feel like he really ruined one of the best times of my life and also my mom's. He never apologized for what he did and he told me, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Classic narcissistic behavior. Of course, I still see the great times and I love my baby more than everything, but I still think of the betrayal that he caused when I think of her newborn memories. I don't speak to him anymore and neither do my siblings' mom. He's been awful to my mom and has basically mentally and emotionally abused her. They recently finalized their divorce and I am relieved. And I'm thankful that my 5.5-month-old baby will never remember him as I have no plans to see him again. My dad and I never had the best relationship, he was never the greatest dad. My siblings and I have said this for years. He's never reached out wanting to see my daughter, which doesn't surprise me. He's still with his new GF and her 3 kids. They recently moved in together after dating officially less than 3 months. He treats them a lot better than he ever treated us kids. I think a lot of this started because my baby made him feel old. He's 57. Is it terrible of me to never want to see him again?
Confession 4. I took 5 to 6 hour long breaks at my full-time job. So after 3 years of sitting at home building up depression, I came to the conclusion that what I needed to make my head empty was to work full-time. I got a job as a cleaner at a factory, and having made the decision to work completely by myself, I was probably the most excited to go to work out of anyone in that building. I worked alone and was allowed to decide in what order I did my tasks. I liked thinking about how I could do my tasks faster, more efficiently, and in a way that was just good enough. I am very fit, so once I had the muscle memory down, I could dust off the whole factory in under an hour and work up a good sweat with it. I figured that if I just used a broom instead of pulling out the whole cleaning wagon as I was told, it does not only be faster, but I could also reach the corners now. I figured out optimal routes for some tasks and skipped tasks that felt unnecessary, and that saved a lot of time. After about a month, I managed to get done in less than 3 hours. The rest of the time I'd sit on the toilet. I brought a book, some Japanese homework, a squeeze weight to exercise, and downloaded some anime before work each morning. There was also a very nice Croatian guy who let me use his office with coffee machine as an extra break room, because you're a hard-working guy and deserve an extra break. It was a big building and everyone mostly just stayed with their own machine, so everyone just assumed I was in a different section. I actually did tell my boss about it, not the toilet part. There was being talked about me taking extra breaks, so I got ahead of them and went to my boss. I said, "Hey, I've been getting done with my tasks quicker recently. And doing an extra round here and there or taking an extra break isn't very useful to you, of course. So how about I work a few hours less and get paid a little more, but less than I get now? You get the same amount of work for less money and I get more free time." He refused and just wanted to give me more work, so I made up other tasks that I could do myself and just didn't do them. No one noticed a thing after that, and I worked there for 6 months until I managed to find a house, for which I had to move. Not sure if I should feel guilty. They were the ones who severely overestimated the difficulty of the job, and I still don't see the problem with the deal I tried to make with my boss.
Confession 5. I used to judge people for being confident. Now I realize I was just insecure. For most of my life, I silently judged people who were really confident, especially women who dressed boldly, posted thirst traps, or just walked around like they knew they were hot. I'd roll my eyes, make comments about how they just wanted attention, and tell myself I was better because I was low maintenance and didn't care about validation. But recently, I've realized something. I was never actually above it. I was just insecure. I didn't hate confidence, I envied it. I wanted to feel that free, but instead of working on myself, it was easier to just dismiss other people. Now that I'm in a happier place and actually feeling good about myself, I catch myself doing the same things I used to judge. I take more pictures. I wear outfits that make me feel hot. And I actually like it when people notice. It makes me cringe to think about how much of my life I spent resenting people who were just comfortable in their own skin. So, yeah. If you're out there and you've ever been like me, just know that confidence isn't the enemy. Insecurity is.